In the roaring crowd of Madison Square Garden, Tony Thompson's voice soared like a phoenix, captivating thousands with his soulful ballad about lost love. But as the final note faded, a viral video exploded online. His older brother, Jamie, kissing another man at a pride parade, proudly declaring his truth. By morning, Tony's world shattered. Fans who once idolized him flooded social media with betrayal, calling him complicit in ruining family values. And his record label panicked, threatening to drop him unless he distanced himself. Tony stared at his phone in the dim hotel room, the glow illuminating his tired face. He had always known about Jamie. Hell, they grew up sharing secrets in their small Ohio town, where whispers about different boys could turn into fists. Jamie had come out to him first years ago, during a late-night drive after their parents' messy divorce. "I can't hide anymore, bro," Jamie had said, tears in his eyes. Tony had pulled over, hugged him tight, and promised unwavering support. Now that promise was tested. His manager, Carla, burst in. "Tony, you need to issue a statement. Say you're shocked, disappointed, anything to salvage this." But Tony shook his head. "Jamie's my blood. If they can't accept him, they don't deserve me." The backlash was swift and brutal. Hashtags like Boycott Tony Thompson trended, with former fans posting videos burning his albums. Conservative pundits on cable news labeled him an enabler of moral decay, while progressive voices praised his silence as solidarity, but that didn't pay the bills. His upcoming tour dates saw ticket sales plummet, sponsors pulling out one by one. At home in Los Angeles, Tony paced his apartment, the city lights mocking his fading star. Jamie called, voice cracking. "I'm sorry, Tony. I didn't think it'd blow back on you." Tony forced a laugh. "Don't apologize for being you. We've got each other. That's what matters." Yet doubt crept in. Tony's career was his everything, built from busking on street corners to sold-out arenas. He remembered the hunger, the rejection letters, the nights doubting if his voice was enough. Now, it all hung by a thread because of loyalty. He met with his label execs in a sleek boardroom overlooking Hollywood Hills. "We love your talent, Tony," the head suit said, "but the market's conservative. Distance yourself or we're out." Tony's heart pounded. He thought of Jamie, alone in San Francisco, fighting his own battles against workplace discrimination. "No," Tony said firmly. "If you drop me, so be it. Family first." Word spread like wildfire. Tabloids screamed headlines. Singer stands by gay brother, career suicide? Online forums erupted in debates, some calling Tony a hero for LGBTQ+ rights, others accusing him of shoving agendas down throats. His social media lost followers by the millions, replaced by trolls spewing hate. One message haunted him. "Your music was pure until this. Now you're tainted." Tony unplugged, retreating to his childhood home in Ohio, where their mom, Evelyn, welcomed him with open arms but worried eyes. "I support Jamie too, honey," she said over coffee. "But is this worth losing everything?" Tony sighed. "Mom, if I abandon him, what kind of man am I?" In Ohio's quiet streets, Tony reconnected with old friends, including Mark, a former classmate who'd always been quietly supportive. Mark ran a local coffee shop now, his easy smile hiding years of his own hidden truths. They talked late into nights about dreams deferred, societal pressures, and the courage to live authentically. "I've admired how you've handled this," Mark said one evening, as they walked by the river. Tony felt a spark, something beyond friendship. But he pushed it down. His life was chaos enough. As weeks turned to months, Tony's savings dwindled. He took odd gigs, singing at weddings, corporate events, anything to stay afloat. Jamie visited, bringing stories of his own triumphs. Joining a support group, finding love with his partner, David. "You've inspired me to fight harder," Jamie said. But Tony envied that freedom. His own identity felt tangled, straight on paper, but questions lingered from college crushes he'd ignored. One night, after a heated family dinner where Evelyn questioned if Jamie's choice caused the rift, Tony exploded. "It's not a choice, Mom, and even if it was, it's his right." The argument exposed raw wounds, forcing Evelyn to confront her biases. Back in LA, Carla called with grim news. The label officially dropped him. Tony hit rock bottom, drowning sorrows in isolation. Then, a turning point, a viral op-ed he wrote for a progressive site, detailing the hypocrisy of fans who sang his love songs but rejected real love. It resonated, gaining shares from celebrities and activists. Slowly, a new fanbase emerged, those who valued authenticity over conformity. Mark texted encouragement from Ohio, their conversations deepening. During a visit, as they shared a quiet dinner, Mark confessed, "Tony, I felt this way about you since high school." The admission hung in the air, electric. Tony's heart raced, fear mixed with relief. "Me too," he whispered. Their first kiss was tentative, real, a bridge to unspoken desires. But secrecy loomed. Coming out could reignite the firestorm. Tony and Mark's relationship blossomed in stolen moments, away from prying eyes. In Ohio's serene backdrop, they explored emotions long suppressed. Walks in parks, late-night talks about fears of judgment. Mark, openly gay in his small circle, shared stories of rejection from his conservative family, mirroring Jamie's struggles. "It gets better, but it's never easy," Mark said. Tony nodded, feeling the weight of his public persona. "If I go public with us, it could destroy what's left of my career or rebuild it." Back in LA, Tony hustled independently, recording in a makeshift home studio. He poured his turmoil into new songs, lyrics about betrayal, resilience, and love's many forms. One track, Brother's Keeper, went viral on indie platforms, its raw honesty striking chords. Fans old and new debated. Was this Tony exploiting the scandal or genuinely evolving? Social media split. Some praised the vulnerability, others called it opportunistic. A conservative radio host lambasted it as propaganda, fueling boycotts, while LGBTQ+ advocates rallied, organizing listening parties. Tension mounted when Tony booked a small venue gig in San Francisco, near Jamie. Mark joined, their bond strengthening amid the chaos. But paparazzi caught a candid photo of them holding hands, sparking rumors. "Is Tony gay too?" Headlines blared. His phone blew up. Carla, now freelance advising him, urged damage control. "Deny it. Say he's just a friend." But Tony refused. "I'm done hiding." At the gig, he addressed the crowd. "Love is love. My brothers taught me that, and so has someone special." The audience erupted, cheers from allies, boos from detractors. Post-show, online vitriol surged, with death threats forcing him to hire security. Family dynamics strained further. Evelyn, grappling with change, visited LA. Over dinner with Jamie and David, she admitted, "I was raised differently, but seeing you boys happy, I'm trying." Yet when Mark joined, her discomfort showed. Subtle questions about phases. Tony defended, "This isn't a phase, Mom. It's me." The evening ended in tears, Evelyn promising growth, but old prejudices lingered, sparking arguments about societal norms versus personal truth. Professionally, opportunities trickled in. An indie label offered a deal, impressed by his authenticity. But strings attached, market him as an ally icon, downplaying his personal life. Tony wrestled, accept and stabilize or reject and risk poverty. Mark encouraged, "Be true to us." He chose rejection, betting on himself. Crowdfunding his album, he raised funds from supportive fans, but critics accused him of begging. Debates raged. Was crowdfunding empowerment or desperation? A major conflict arose at a music festival. Invited as a panelist on art and activism, Tony faced a heckler. "You ruined your talent for politics." Security intervened, but the incident went viral, polarizing opinions. Supporters argued free speech. Opponents called it hate. Tony's mental health frayed. Therapy sessions revealed imposter syndrome, fears of letting Jamie down. "What if I fail?" he confided in Mark. "Then we fail together," Mark replied, their commitment deepening. Jamie faced his own backlash, workplace demotion disguised as restructuring. They say it's unrelated, but I know, he told Tony. United, they attended a rally for equality, where Tony performed acoustically. Media captured the brothers arm in arm, humanizing the cause. Yet conservatives boycotted sponsors, claiming indoctrination. Public discourse intensified. Panels debating if celebrities should stay in their lane or use platforms for change. Romantically, Tony and Mark navigated long-distance strains. Mark's coffee shop tied him to Ohio, Tony's gigs pulling him away. A heated call. "I feel like your secret," Mark said. Tony promised change, but delays bred resentment. At a low, Tony considered breaking up to protect Mark. "Don't you dare," Mark said, flying to LA. Their reconciliation was emotional, reaffirming choices amid uncertainty. As the album neared release, leaks stirred controversy. Lyrics hinting at same-sex love drew ire. Pushing boundaries too far? Forums asked. Tony promoted on podcasts, sharing his journey, coming out privately first, then publicly. Responses varied. Empowerment for some, betrayal for others. A former fan emailed, "I was wrong. Your courage changed me." But hate mail persisted, testing resolve. High drama peaked at the album launch party. Protesters outside chanted slurs. Inside, allies celebrated. Tony took the stage, voice steady. "This is for everyone who's been told their love is wrong." The night ended triumphantly, but exhaustion hit. In Mark's arms later, Tony whispered, "Is it worth it?" Mark smiled. "Every bit." With the album Unbroken Bonds out, reviews poured in, mixed but passionate. Critics hailed its emotional depth, while detractors panned it as preachy. Sales started slow, but word of mouth from LGBTQ+ communities boosted it. Charting modestly, it sparked debates. Did authenticity trump commercial appeal? Tony toured small theaters, crowds intimate but fervent. At each stop, he shared stories, fostering connections. Yet threats continued, venue cancellations due to safety concerns. Code for backlash. Mark relocated to LA, closing his shop for a fresh start. Their life together brought joy, simple dates, cooking mishaps, but scrutiny invaded. Tabloids speculated on their relationship, photographers hounding them. A particularly invasive article questioned Mark's motives. Gold digger or genuine? Mark bristled. "I loved you before the fame." Tony reassured, but seeds of doubt grew, amplified by online trolls. They attended couples therapy, unpacking insecurities, Tony's fear of abandonment, Mark's of being overshadowed. Family reconciliation progressed unevenly. Evelyn joined a PFLAG meeting, learning about acceptance. At a holiday gathering, she hugged Mark warmly. "Welcome to the family," but extended relatives shunned them, skipping invites. Jamie's wedding to David became a flashpoint. Conservative aunts boycotted, calling it unnatural. Tony walked Jamie down the aisle, emotional vows underscoring unity. Media covered it positively, but hate groups protested outside, chanting bigotry. The event galvanized support, with celebrities tweeting solidarity. Professionally, a breakthrough. A mainstream award nomination for Best Comeback. Red carpet buzz focused on his personal life. Walking with Mark, Tony declared, "This is my partner." Cameras flashed. Reactions split. Applause from progressives, eye rolls from traditionalists. In his speech, if one, he planned to dedicate to Jamie, but he lost to a pop star, sparking outcry. Bias or merit? Forums debated endlessly. Post-nomination, offers flooded, collaborations, endorsements. But Tony chose carefully, aligning with inclusive brands. A conservative sponsor withdrew, citing values clash, fueling media storms. Public opinion polls showed shifting attitudes. Younger generation supportive, older divided. Tony appeared on talk shows, humanizing the narrative. One host grilled, "Aren't you forcing acceptance?" Tony countered, "I'm living my truth. Acceptance is a choice." Personal trials deepened. Mark faced job discrimination in LA. Interviews ghosted after background checks revealed his connection. "It's subtle but real," he said. Tony used his platform to highlight it, writing an essay on systemic bias. Responses: empathy from allies, denial from skeptics. Their relationship tested by stress, arguments over visibility. Sometimes I wish we were anonymous, Mark admitted. Tony pondered. Sacrifice fame for peace? A major conflict. A former fan sued for emotional distress, claiming Tony's agenda ruined his music enjoyment. Frivolous, but headlines hurt. Court dismissed it, but legal fees drained savings. Supporters crowdfunded defense, turning tide. Debates. Free expression versus consumer rights? Jamie's career rebounded. He advocated for workplace equality, landing a promotion. Thanks to you standing firm, he told Tony. Brothers bonded deeper, co-writing a song about resilience. As years blurred, Tony's star rose anew. A Netflix documentary chronicled his journey, raw and unfiltered. Viewers debated. Inspirational or exploitative? Ratings soared, introducing him to global audiences. In quieter moments, Tony and Mark built a home, adopting a dog, planning futures. But societal scars remained. At a school visit, Tony spoke on bullying. A kid shared his story, echoing Jamie's. Impact hit home. Climax built at a major concert, first arena since the scandal. Tickets sold out, diverse crowd cheering. On stage, Tony paused. To those who left, I forgive you. To those who stayed, thank you. Encore. A duet with Jamie, symbolizing triumph. Post-show reflections. Had he proved them wrong? Career thriving, love solid, family healed. But questions lingered. Years later, Tony Thompson stood on the Grammy stage, clutching the award for Album of the Year. The crowd's applause thundered, a far cry from the boos that once echoed. This is for my brother Jamie, my partner Mark, and everyone who's ever been told their love doesn't count, he said, voice steady. Cameras captured tears in Evelyn's eyes from the audience, her transformation complete. The journey hadn't been linear. After the arena comeback, Tony's career surged. Collaborations with A-listers, sold-out tours. But controversies persisted. A collaboration with a queer artist drew boycotts from radio stations in red states, sparking debates on censorship. Art shouldn't be political, critics argued. Everything is political, supporters retorted. Tony navigated by staying authentic, releasing tracks addressing mental health in the LGBTQ+ community, partnering with charities. Mark thrived too, opening a chain of inclusive cafes in LA, becoming a local advocate. Their relationship, once fragile, solidified through trials. They married in a private ceremony, Jamie officiating. Media frenzy followed. Celebrations from fans, condemnation from holdouts. Redefining family, headlines read. Extended family slowly warmed. Some attended, others sent regrets, highlighting ongoing divides. Jamie's life flourished. Promoted to executive, he and David adopted twins, challenging norms. Family gatherings evolved. Evelyn hosting pride-themed barbecues, embracing change. Yet external pressures loomed. A political shift, anti-LGBTQ+ bills in states, prompted Tony to lobby in D.C., testifying on discrimination's impact. Opponents labeled him Hollywood elite. Allies hailed him hero. Public forums buzzed. Celebrity activism effective or performative? Professionally, Tony mentored young artists, sharing lessons on integrity. One protege, a trans singer, faced similar backlash. Tony's support amplified her voice. Debates. Mentorship or co-opting struggles. Personal growth deepened. Therapy helped Tony process trauma, the betrayal, identity struggles. He wrote a memoir, Silent No More, topping bestsellers. Reviews. Cathartic for readers, overshare for critics. Book tours sparked town halls, where audiences shared stories. Parents reconciling, youth finding courage. Societal conflicts intensified. A viral video of Tony confronting a heckler at a concert went mega. Hate doesn't win stages. Supporters cheered. Detractors called it aggression. Legal battles ensued. Defamation suits from trolls settled out of court. Costs mounted, but fan donations covered, underscoring community power. Mark and Tony's home became a sanctuary, friends' gatherings, fostering chosen family. But parenthood debates arose. Adopt or surrogate? Societal judgments weighed. 2 dads enough? They chose adoption, welcoming a son, Liam. Media scrutiny. Inspirational or controversial? Parenting forums debated merits. As decades passed, Tony's legacy cemented. Inducted into halls of fame, documentaries revisited his saga. Retired from touring, he produced, focusing on underrepresented voices. Jamie, graying but vibrant, led national advocacy. Evelyn, in her 80s, volunteered at senior centers, educating on acceptance. Reflecting in interviews, Tony pondered, did I prove them wrong? Or did we all grow? Fans evolved, many returned, apologizing in letters. You opened my eyes, but holdouts remained, symbols of persistent bias. In quiet evenings, Tony and Mark watched sunsets, Liam playing nearby. Worth every fight, Tony said. Mark nodded. Absolutely. The story's arc, from betrayal to triumph, ignited endless discussions on loyalty, identity, and change. Tony's influence extended beyond music. He founded a foundation for LGBTQ+ youth, funding scholarships and safe spaces. Success stories poured in, kids crediting his visibility for their survival. Critics argued, celebrity charity band-aids systemic issues? Supporters countered, visibility sparks policy change. Mark's cafes became community hubs, hosting events on equality. Their son Liam grew up surrounded by love, but schoolyard taunts tested resilience. Why 2 dads? Peers asked. Tony and Mark navigated openly, turning moments into teachings, debates, shielding kids or exposing to realities. Jamie's family thrived, twins excelling, David a steadfast partner. Brothers collaborated on a book about sibling bonds in adversity, blending humor and heart. Reviews praised authenticity. Skeptics called it self-promotion. Evelyn's later years brought wisdom, speaking at conferences, sharing her journey from resistance to allyship. Change starts within, she said. Her story inspired parents nationwide, but some dismissed. Too late? As culture shifted, marriage equality solidified, protections expanded. Tony reflected on progress. Yet regressions loomed. Book bans, trans rights battles. He returned to activism, headlining rallies. Chants of his name echoed, but counter-protests reminded of divides. A final controversy, a biopic announcement, script debates, glamorize or raw. Tony insisted on truth, including doubts and failures. Release sparked reviews. Empowering narrative or Hollywood gloss. Box office success fueled donations to causes. In retirement, Tony composed privately, mentoring remotely. Mark expanded businesses philanthropically. Liam, teen now, explored identity freely. Family vacations, blended, joyous, contrasted early strife. Looking back, Tony marveled at the path. From scandal to serenity. We didn't just survive, we thrived, he told Jamie over coffee. The tale closes with lingering questions on society's evolution. Was Tony's unwavering loyalty to his brother the ultimate act of heroism, or did it unnecessarily risk his own dreams and drag others into the fray?